What if you could create more kindness in the world just by being you? Everyone has the potential to create and receive more kindness. What if kindness is more than being nice and compassionate to others? Have you ever considered what having more kindness for you could create in your life? Get ready to learn how the energy of kindness is integral to reducing stress in your life and how it can assist in healing your body. Now, here is the host of Cultivating Kindness with Karen, facilitator of healing, Karen Leslie.
Welcome, everyone. I am super happy to have you all here with me today. We have a really different show for you. So if there's anyone here who's with me for the very first time, my name's Karen Leslie, and I'm your host for the next hour or so on Cultivating Kindness with Karen. The shows are normally about just all kinds of different ways that we can look at increasing our kindness to ourselves and to the world overall. And I give you different perspectives on how to look at things. Often, they're really new perspectives for a lot of people. And so it's kind of like my mission to help you expand how you look at things and expand your openness to new perspectives on things. That may also come through today. However, the focus today is on angels. Normally, well, for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know I have a very big spiritual side to my shows and just to me in general. And I do use oracle cards all the time, like actually every week when I'm creating the shows. But I don't make it a big part of the show. Well, that is going to be different today. We are going to talk all things angels. Now, you don't need to necessarily believe in angels to hang around. This might be where I kind of challenge how you look at things and maybe open your mind to a new perspective. If you feel, I got this, Karen, like I know the angels, I work with the angels, I don't think there's much you can share with me. Well, I still would love you to hang in there and stay with me. I'm quite sure I will bring in some new perspectives for you. The angels have been so busy all morning. It's 2 o'clock Eastern time where I am now live bringing the show to you. So I've had a number of hours because I've been up since 5:30 where they've been kind of, tapping me on the shoulder, giving me little nudges, some wording, some phrasings, like just so much that I actually had to say, I so appreciate this. And I love that you're all here with me, but the show's not for like 4 hours. So can we just tone it down a little bit? And, now that I'm live, I'm welcoming them all back in. We'll see how much of the information I can filter through and get to you during the time that we're live together. And also, hopefully, make some of the points that I have in my mind that I would like to communicate with you. So, I don't know, buckle up because here we go, because they are all waiting. Now, is the idea of angels something that you're comfortable with? It's not for everybody. It really isn't. And for some people, it can be a very new concept or a very new idea that they could build a relationship with a spiritual entity like an angel. And you can. And by the end of the show, you will have some tips and some ideas on how to do that, how to connect, and how to start building your relationship with them. And this is really key. And I'll mention this, I don't know, probably a lot as we go through together. What I would love for you to do is create your own relationship with whatever angels you choose to connect with based on you, based on what you would like and on how you see the relationship being the best one for you, not based on what other people say, not even based like on what I'm going to tell you. Take bits and pieces of this away that you'd like to try and experiment with, and then the rest of it, just leave it behind. There are so many people that say that there is one way to connect. There's one way to do really anything that's in this world. Across the board, I'll just put it out there. I disagree. I feel that there are multiple ways to do and approach anything. And as long as you're open to having that perspective that maybe there's something slightly different that you could do, you will be then in that space of having other opportunities, other possibilities, and other insights come to you. Pick, choose, try, whatever you want. But I hope you don't ignore them. When we get so set in our ways of how to look at something, we really cut off so many different opportunities for ourselves. And not just in the spiritual world, in every aspect of our life and our business. It's really key to allowing yourself to have different perspectives and opportunities come forward. This is how inventions come about. This is how we have new innovations and creativity, and in some cases, like life-threatening prevention ideas that arrive. Like, it can be phenomenal, but it's up to you. So take this next little time we've got together here and sit back, relax, listen. You know, if you are listening live and you'd like to come in and join the chat room, please do. You just need to come to the inspiredchoicesnetwork.com/chat room and join in. And then you can be part of the conversation. You can ask some questions and we can have some chats if you would like. I do love my shows when they're interactive, when people come into the chat room. So take a moment now, if you like, and pop on over. So last week, I talked a lot about building your inner confidence. And I hadn't really put it all together until just now, realizing just what a great show that was prior to bringing today's topic to you. For many people, it's going to take some confidence and the ability to trust you to build these connections with the angels. Now, they're there all the time, 24/7, they're around you, and they're waiting for you to connect. They really are. So it's up to you. So if you are feeling doubtful, if you're feeling like, well, I just can't do that, only certain people can, I really hope you'll have a different perspective on it by the end of the show, because truly, it's available for everybody. Some of us may be a little more intuitive, and some of us may have our intuition show up in different ways from other people, but none of that matters. We all have the ability. Remember, when we arrived, our first language was energy, and then we got programmed out of it. But that doesn't mean it's gone. It just means it's in the background somewhere. And you can go in and you can do a little work and you can get rid of some of these limiting beliefs that you have, and then allow that knowing to come back to you. Then you just spend some time with it. Try it out, play with it, see what you can create through repetition, through practice, and through having an open mind that this will be there for you. So if you didn't hear the conversation that we had on the building your inner confidence, you can find it anywhere that Cultivating Kindness with Karen is held on all your different podcast platforms. And of course, it's on the Inspired Choices Network as well. When you go to the podcast area, you can just search my show and then all my shows are there. All right, so let's get into this a bit. Many people may have a real discomfort with the idea of working with spirit or working with angels. And that can have many reasons behind it. One could be how prayer was introduced to you when you were a child, or maybe spirituality or faith was introduced to you. I remember when I was young, and I don't know, to be honest, if people still encourage their children to say this bedtime prayer, but it's, Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. Do you remember that prayer? You know, if I die before I wake, I pray thee, Lord, to my soul to take. Well, there's a lot of fear in that. I didn't teach that to my children when they were young. And one of the reasons, not that I don't believe in prayer, I absolutely do, but I didn't feel it was being kind to tell a little person that you might die and not wake up, but it's okay because your soul will be taken. And they're like, what's a soul? And what's being taken from me? So I had a lot of problems with that. So I've read a more recent version where it's changed a little bit, but it's still basically the same thing. So if that was you and that's how you grew up, then you may be kind of not so sure about this whole idea. And that's cool. I get it. Some forms of faith and religion actually create barriers in your mind as to whether it's okay to connect with angels or whether angels even exist or different deities and how this hierarchy is supposed to work. You know, only people of a certain status or skill set and talent are allowed to communicate with those that bring information back to the divine. Again, not my belief system. I believe we all can communicate, and when we communicate, it is all heard as well. But if you have that belief, then this may be a really unusual concept for you. I would love for that to change, for you to feel empowered in yourself so that you know that you have this option to connect with angels. I took a course in 2008, and it was all on angels and working with angels. And I may get into some of that a little later, but one of the lines I absolutely loved when they were explaining just like the massive amount of angels that are around us all the time and what they're here to do, why they're here with us. And what I was told was, and I've shared this with many, many people over the years, is think of the angels as being a long line of souls without bodies that are in an unemployment line. They're unemployed. They're just hanging around and they would love to have a job. Well, in order for us to give them a job, we need to connect. Pretty simple, right? But this idea that they're here waiting to help us, to me, that was so uplifting and made me feel really, really good because I didn't feel alone. They're always here. Now, did I always feel comfortable that I had a guardian angel? Yes. My strength in that, wavered from time to time, but I do believe that we all have at least one guardian angel. And from my teachings and understanding, that guardian angel is with you nonstop, all the way through. For those of you who believe in multiple lives, that energy is with you from lifetime to lifetime. If you have a different perspective, that's cool, not a problem. But there are multitudes here with us that are waiting to help us. Now, some require an invitation. From my perspective, the guardian angel doesn't require an invitation. That is one of the spirit beings that can intervene and can help you, move out of the way so that you're not injured or things like this. But the vast majority are literally just hanging around saying, how can I help? Ooh, they see something. Oh, I know I can do that, but I'm not being invited in. So would you like to invite them in? Would you like to know how to do that? If you do, then you're going to have to hang in here and stay with us for the rest of the show because we are coming up to, in just a moment here, coming into our first break. That first segment just flew by. So I want to thank you for being here with me on Cultivating Kindness with Karen on the Inspired Choices Network. Remember, you can always send me an email, Karen@KarenLeslie.ca. And Leslie is Leslie. And I would love to answer any questions you have or build a relationship with you as well around all of the content in my show. Also, you can send me an email and inquire how you can work directly with me as well. So think about what it is that, how do I want to phrase this? So by the end of the show, you're going to have some skills that you can work with on connecting with some angels. Think about during our break, what is it that you would ask them to do for you? We're going to talk about how to ask, the energy of asking, setting up how to connect, and so much more they're telling me. So I'm going to stop talking. We're going to go to our break, and I will see you on the other side. So don't go away because they're all waiting to chat with you. All right. Thanks, everybody.
We all have different experiences with and definitions of kindness. These experiences and beliefs about kindness have influenced who we are today and how we see the world. The universe is always listening. So what are you telling the universe today? Tune in to Cultivating Kindness with Karen each week as Karen guides you to understanding how each choice you are making is either keeping you stuck or opening up the energy of empowerment for you. Listen to Cultivating Kindness with Karen, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Cultivating Kindness with Karen. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Karen@KarenLeslie.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everybody. I was very busy during that break. So right off the bat, just to let all of the spirits around know, they want me to make sure that you understand that there are so many different forms of angels or spirits out there. So you've got, I'm not going to go through them all, but what they're really pushing on me to tell you is don't forget about the ancestors. Like we're here to help as well. And for some cultures, your ancestors are so important to you. Like it's really a part of your upbringing and how you move through your day. Like can be like literally every day. The ancestor presence is very much a part of how you live your life. And for others, it's going to be, well, no, they passed on and it's kind of a done deal. It's never a done deal. Never a done deal. And I really think I kind of could do a whole series here. We have different ways that our loved ones pass on, and they go through different realms and stages during their passage over to when they finally get back to what we would call sort of their true home. And there's a whole set of processes that happen for them and to guide them and help them, which I find extremely comforting, knowing for those of my family and friends that have passed over. Now, so you've got ancestors, you have like your guardian angel, which I mentioned. I refer to another group as like my teammates. They could be your counsel, you might call them, or you could just call them your helpers, or whatever name you want to give them is fine. There is no one name, no correct name. It's fine. as I said, the guardian angel, that particular one stays with you. The other ones, they can all come and go. And so I think there's a mistake in thinking that they're with you indefinitely as well. And one of the things I want you to understand too, that you being the person in the body, you are looked at with so much admiration and respect from those in the spirit world. You are what they aspire to be again, which is why souls reincarnate. I don't want anyone to feel stuck by the belief that a spirit, an angel, is so above or beyond or so much more powerful than you, that what right do you have to connect? And that is in some teachings. And if that's yours and you really want to hold on to that, then that's 100% cool. But if there's a little wiggle there where you've kind of got a bit of doubt as to, well, why is that the case? Then hang in there and listen and see what conclusion you come to for you. So the teammates, as I refer to them, I connect with them. Sometimes I'll check in to see how many are there. I'll check in on their different roles that they have with me. And to be honest, sometimes I fire a few, and I'll, in a nice way, but I'll thank them for all they've done for me. And then I will say that they are no longer required or needed, and give them permission to leave to go and help another person, another being with a body. So saying I fire them is really harsh, but I do end the relationship with them. And I will then check in. So am I comfortable with the ones I have left? Or do I feel like I want to invite in another one or a couple more? And so there's this very fluid relationship with them. I love that, actually. I love that there is this flow back and forth. It empowers my way of looking at my life. It brings me kind of like to a center point of doing my inner work and examining what it is that I truly would love to have and who I can invite in to help me. People with a body and entities without. And all angels or all spirits, they have different abilities and attributes as well. So it's really cool that you can have these conversations with them and find out if they have the skill set required to do what you are asking of them. Because truthfully, from my perspective, not all can do everything. And I think that is that is supported by a lot of teachings that are out there that talk about the different hierarchies of angels. And a number of faiths, Christianity in particular, I know best, but they have these set hierarchies, these set names for types of angels, categories that they really follow very closely. Now, I was brought up in the Christian faith, but I don't necessarily buy into that. I have created my own way of looking at it. But will I, like archangels, for example, is one of the labels or titles for angels. And depending on a hierarchy that you're looking at, they would be in the third hierarchy. You know, your cherubs would be in the first one. So you can get this to be overly complicated. And I don't think that's necessary. Knowing that the angels are there is really all you require. Knowing that they can have different jobs is important. And knowing that you can ask, okay, who can do this for me, is also really important. So how do you figure all that out? Right? So yeah, okay, fine. You're giving me all this information. Now I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, perhaps. All right, so let's calm that down. Where to start is knowing you and your body and your ability to recognize where your intuition is kicking in for you. And we all have it. So those of you that just went, nope, I've got the intuition of a cabbage, not buying it. Sorry. For years, I have been helping people understand how to connect to their body and how to get answers from your body, because your body is brilliant, but that's a whole other show. But what you need to understand now is that working with your physical body and first building communication with it is going to be really, really important. This is going to also help you with your own inner confidence. You want to be able to establish within yourself a yes and a no. So when you ask a question, for your body to be able to give you a signal of what represents a yes, and to also give you a signal of what represents a no. There's many ways to do this. One of the ways is through somebody asking you questions, and you just instantly go with the yes or a no answer. And having yourself aware of what is changing in your body. Having somebody ask you multiple questions that are very definitively a yes or a no. Maybes are not allowed. So a question like, your name is, and they either give you the correct name or they give you the wrong name. So it's a yes or a no. Or a question of, did you eat, put in a food for breakfast? You did or you didn't? Right? This will help you. And you have enough yeses and enough that are answered from the no that you can start to recognize a pattern. And then you play with it. You just ask your body yes and no questions with different things around you. And I recommend to people that they start with clothing, like, body, what would you like to wear? I do this every single day. And then I ask it every day before I come live with you. Okay, body, what do you want to wear for today's show? And often it picks my earrings, it picks everything that I've got going on. You learn to trust that yes. So then, and the no. So then, when you make those connections and you start to connect to the angelic realms, your body will give you your yeses and your nos during that time of connection. So start here in your physical world, in your physical reality, and learn the yes and no. And then you will have that as your guideline when you're speaking and connecting to the angels. I hope that makes sense. If not, send me an email. One of the key reasons why this is so important is when you work with the angelic realm, I highly recommend that you are very discerning. Know who you are connecting with from an energetic perspective. I don't mean know as to what hierarchy they are in, what deity they are, what they're called, what faith background they're connected to. No, I'm not worried about any of that. I want you to use discernment to know that the spiritual connection you're making is there for your highest good, that is there to truly be of assistance for you, and that there is no agenda on the other side of the veil that you may be unaware of. I'm not saying this to alarm you. I'm saying this to empower you. There's two sides to every coin. I say this all the time. We have two sides to the spiritual coin as well. There are some on the side that we can choose not to deal with. And so knowing how to discern will be really important for you. All right, I'm getting that this is where we're stopping. We are at a time where the break would naturally happen, but they're asking for us to take a short break as well. So when we come back, I'm going to go a little bit more into the discernment, but nothing too heavy, just so that you understand the importance of it. And then I'm going to give you some tools and some ways that you can practice with connecting with the spirit realm or the angelic realm. So if you're interested in figuring this out and the how-tos, then you're going to need to join us after our break. All right, don't go away. Thank you for being here on Cultivating Kindness with Karen. I love having you here every week. Look for me on all the different social media platforms and follow me along, and let's connect that way if that's the easiest for you. All right, we'll be right back, everybody.
We all have different experiences with and definitions of kindness. These experiences and beliefs about kindness have influenced who we are today and how we see the world. The universe is always listening. So what are you telling the universe today? Tune in to Cultivating Kindness with Karen each week as Karen guides you to understanding how each choice you are making is either keeping you stuck or opening up the energy of empowerment for you. Listen to Cultivating Kindness with Karen, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is Cultivating Kindness with Karen. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Karen@KarenLeslie.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everybody. All right, we're just going to dive right in because there's certain points I don't want to miss out on sharing with you on how to work with angels. So with the discernment that I talked about briefly before we went on our break, there's another sort of aspect of that I want to bring to your attention. So maybe you're still working on your yeses and your nos, and you're not quite confident yet in trusting it and knowing exactly who you may be connecting with. So here's another clue for you. If you are ever connecting with a spirit, and I mean, your intention is to connect in with the angelic realm, another spirit could also connect in with you. Here's what I want you to hear. If any form of communication, any thought process comes to you, and the thoughts you may have will be in your wording, it could be sound like it's in your voice, it could just 100% feel like it's you, but it's not. Anyway, any thought or idea comes to you that is demanding you do something, telling you to do something, pushing you somehow, cut the connection. That's it. Just cut it. Yeah. When you're working with divine energies, you will not have that form of communication. They're here, other than your guardian angel, they're here to follow your direction. So if you've got one that's saying, oh, you better do this, or whatever it might be, cut the connection. How? Okay, I'm hearing that as well. It can be really simple. It can be just by telling them, no, you are not required or desired. Leave now. Do not go into fear. Just be neutral about it. It's just like hanging up a phone on somebody. It's not a big deal. Or some people really like to physically do something. So you can imagine, if you want, maybe at the end of your hands or in front of you, two flaming swords. You can get as dramatic as you want. You can bring in Archangel Michael and have your flaming swords, but you can bring in these flaming swords and just cross them down in front of your body with the intention of disconnecting. It can be that simple. That's all it can take. All right. And you'll find other ways as well that you want to hang up that phone and say, don't call me again. All right. So I think that's plenty on that topic. So now, what's some simple ways to connect in? If you meditate, meditation is wonderful because it can help you kind of get single focus in your thought process, which can be very helpful, not necessary. Prayer, of course, will work. No question about it. Now, what I ask, though, is when you are working in that energy of prayer, that you are doing so from the space of being clear, positive, and yeah, I'm hearing intentionally directional. Okay, so don't be wishy-washy. Don't throw up, okay, please just give me something. You can and you will, and that's okay. But if you have something in particular that you wish to get some assistance with, then be clear. So that might mean you need to be clear in yourself first and spend some time actually figuring out what you would like the help with. And then offer up that clarity. By knowing clearly what you would like, then you will also know what kind of questions to ask to find that angelic support that can do what you want. I asked the other day, wasn't that long ago, within the last week, I asked my teammates, I said, I would like your assistance in making new connections from both friendship and business. So I asked them, okay, who can do this? And I got a sense of that. And then I said, all right, I want each of you to bring me one connection. I was being very straightforward in what I was asking for. I said it can be either a business connection or a friendship connection. I'm living in a new city and I would like to make some new friends. And my business, I'm always looking to expand it. So that makes sense, right? Well, it worked. I have a number of new connections that have come through in the last 3 days in particular. And in recognizing that, what I feel is important is I thanked them. And I asked them, please continue. So be in gratitude. Acknowledge that your request is being answered. This helps you in building your confidence in trusting your ability to connect with the angelic realm. And be honest, I think it's just polite. I think it's a good thing to do. It's helpful for us as physical humans to be in that space of gratitude. There's so many positive things that happen within our body, physically, emotionally, mentally, when we're in gratitude. So extend that to them as well. It's a great practice. So you're practicing your yes and your no. You're going to sit quietly and know exactly what you want to ask. What I do is I have the intention and I will think the intention. I don't necessarily say it out loud, but I will think the intention of, okay, I am connecting into divine, for me, this is my wording, divine source prior to all distortions. You can use whatever word you want, to God, to Buddha, to creator, to the universe, to infinite. It doesn't matter. Work with the wording that speaks your truth. I add in prior to all distortions from my personal experiences and learnings. there's a lot of stuff going on in the unseen world that is a little messy and just causing some distortions, like causing some radio wave malfunctions, maybe is maybe the best way to put it. So I want to connect to all of the angelic realm or any source I'm going to prior to this kind of mess we've got going on. So I just say it. I am connecting to divine source prior to all distortions. And then I just pause. Just wait and see if you feel something. You can ask for them to let you know they're present. You can ask to feel something. I always ask, or yeah, okay. If I'm going, let's phrase it this way. If I am going to ask for their presence to be made known to me, I do so by saying, by not causing me any discomfort. Because I've had some connections in the past where it's been uncomfortable and I'm like, no, I'm not dealing with that. A gentle touch, a breeze, a thought. A lot of people get tingles on the top of their head or across their upper back or things. So you can ask for that, and you can ask for it to be repeated so that you build your awareness and connection with it. Just take some practice. What time is it? Okay. Another way is to do what's called a heart link. Now I'm going to give you the steps to this. You can come back to the recording, you can write them out and you can use them, or you can just come back, timestamp where, if this is in the third segment, where the heart link is, and you can listen to it a few times. What you do is you pick any angel that you want. You can pick Archangel Michael or Raphael or any deity that you feel close to or would like to build a connection to. For those of you that this is all brand new, then I often recommend Angel Ariel. And Angel Ariel is sort of the #1 healing angel in a body of work that I do work with. And this is where the heart link is from. So you just pause and offer up a couple of words of gratitude for this time to be able to connect with the angel of your choice and say the angel's name. Then through just the power of imagination or intention from your heart, send up a gold energy cord, a golden colored energy cord up through your throat chakra, third eye, crown, and reach up to reaching the heart of the angel you're choosing to connect with. It will stop when it gets to the angel's heart. You don't need to know that. Just envision this golden energy cord going up. That's all you need to do. Then I want you to have the intention of sending love up that golden energy cord to the angel you've chosen. Just have the intention. It will start. It will kick in whether you feel it or not. Just let it go. It will travel to your angel. I guarantee it. Just sit with that for a moment or two. Then ask your angel to send that love, their love, to you. And that angelic love will flow down that golden energy cord to you, filling your heart. And for some people, they can really feel this. And so you can then allow it to move out beyond your heart and fill your whole body. So you've got the connection there. You are now connected to that angel of your choice. There's a hand mudra that you can use to instantly reactivate that connection anytime you want. So I will do it for those of you who are watching. You just take your thumb and your middle finger and touch the two together. So you heard the instructions for those of you listening on the audio. Take your thumb, tip of your thumb to the tip of your middle finger and just hold it. and have the intention of that golden energy cord connecting to the angel of your choice, and it will happen instantly. You can use one hand, you can use two hands. It doesn't matter either way. Just make that finger to finger connection and you are connected. And then sit with that connection. Feel what it is like to be connected. Even if you're feeling nothing, keep doing it. And then you can start to build that communication. So that's one way you can do to connect to, other than, as I was mentioning earlier. So you can go back and listen to that and check it out. We are now at our third break. So I'm going to stop talking so we'll have time on the other side to try and wrap all of this up. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you're really struggling with doubt and unsure, like, I don't know if I can do this, Karen, even though it may sound simple, helping people get rid of doubt is an area that I do a lot of work in. So you can get in touch with me and you could look at, if you like, a program I have called Mind Shift Journey, shifting your perspective, Mind Shift Journey, right? Shifting doubt into inner confidence. So if that's something that you are struggling with, let me know. We can have a chat about it. But right now, we are going to go to our third and final break. So don't go away because I have a lot to say still. All right, we'll be right back.
We all have different experiences with and definitions of kindness. These experiences and beliefs about kindness have influenced who we are today and how we see the world. The universe is always listening. So what are you telling the universe today? Tune in to Cultivating Kindness with Karen each week as Karen guides you to understanding how each choice you are making is either keeping you stuck or opening up the energy of empowerment for you. Listen to Cultivating Kindness with Karen, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, 12 p.m. Mountain Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Time on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is Cultivating Kindness with Karen. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Karen@KarenLeslie.ca. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everyone. So, did you try the heart link? You didn't really have time. The breaks are really, really short, but I do recommend you go back and listen to that in the previous segment and practice with it, or whatever other way you would like to try and build that comfort and confidence in connecting to the angelic realm. Now, you can also ask the angels to give you a sign, like help you build that trust. You know, people will, angel numbers. People talk about seeing repeating numbers, like 3 ones or 4 ones in a row. And you can go and research what they all can mean. There's a lot of different information out there, but that could be a sign for you. Feathers. Sometimes feathers actually just drop, or you find one on the ground. You can ask, maybe to be shown that, or when you see it, check in. Is this a message that you're hearing me, that I'm actually connecting with you? A song can come on the radio that has a special meaning. This works really well often with ancestors, with our family that are friends that have passed over. There can be a song that comes on. I have one particular one that when I hear it, I feel very connected to my mom. So that's a way. A really strong gut feeling can also be a form of communication. Often that can be your guardian angel, but it can be any of them as well that is trying to give you a very specific answer for something. So, just truly experiment with it. Check it out as you're going along. I don't necessarily recommend testing them to see if they're there and if they're hearing you, but I've done it. So you can too, like, why not? If you wish to do that, then I think asking for something more specific and maybe a little more unusual than a feather or a dime on the ground or anything like that, a while ago, gosh, must be close to a year and a half ago now, I asked to see, because I was really feeling frustrated and wasn't feeling like I was necessarily being heard. So I said to them, all right, if you've got me and if you've got this, then I want to see a yellow car. Now, yellow is not a common color for a car, which is why I picked it. Saying red, well, they're all over the place, right? I chose yellow, and I had a 20-minute drive that I was going to make to pick up my husband from work. On that drive, honestly, I saw 5 yellow cars, including one pickup truck. I was really surprised. And then on the way home, I saw 2 more, and they weren't repeats of the ones I saw. It's not like I drove by the same parking lot twice, so I counted that car twice. No, that was not the case. Now, if you're going to ask for something like that, then it's up to you to also expand your awareness so that you can receive the information. So if I was not paying attention to where I was driving, then I would not have seen the yellow cars. That's not true. My mistake. I would have seen 1 because 1 did pass me on the road, but the other ones were like parked in a driveway or parked at a parking lot or in areas that weren't as evident. So when you ask, it's up to you to be aware to receive the answers or the information or the signs. Right? So you have a role in this whole communication. You really do. And recognizing that you have a role in it is very important. It will help you to build your confidence and to build your communication. These angels are all here to help you and support you. And they need you on the other side to be asking and to be there as well. I mean, you can also ask, well, show me a yellow car. That's, very direct. But you can also ask, and it's a term for a way I have of working sometimes with what's called respectfully demanding. Now, this is not being harsh and arrogant and superior or rude. It is being very clear on what you are asking for, what you may need help for. And you do so from that space of gratitude that you have this communication, hence respectfully requesting, respectfully demanding, if you like. All right, before we run out of time, because the show's almost over, I just want to let you know what we're going to be talking about next week. And again, next week is going to be really different than my shows have been for the last year and a half, I think now. It's called A Rottweiler Named Angel. And yes, it is 100% about a big, beautiful Rottweiler. This dog, oh my gosh, he was amazing. And his owner invited me into his life to see what I could do in assistance for them. And it taught a lot of lessons and brought through a lot of information that I'm going to share with you. When I decided to do this show on how I work with angels and giving you some ideas, this beautiful Rottweiler was very much present. Animals also can communicate with you from the other side as well, not just people. And Angel was there. So I thought, okay, cool. We're going to bring Angel into Cultivating Kindness with Karen. So if you're curious, please join me next week here on Cultivating Kindness with Karen on the Inspired Choices Network, where we will have a wonderful time with my friend Angel.
Thank you for listening to Cultivating Kindness with Karen. Karen Leslie returns Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, 11 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can find Karen at KarenLeslie.ca and follow her on social media. Until next Wednesday, Karen is sending you waves of kindness for a fabulous week. Remember, it's only you who has the power to be and receive the kindness required to change your life.